So today I have just finished, I think, all of the checking and testing for the 308, and that involved doing the rod bearing clearance checks. Now, I was planning on doing them, well, in the last video actually, when I was doing the main bearing clearance checks, but we had a look at the rods and realised that half the pistons were attached to the rods kind of in the wrong direction. And in wrong direction, I mean that I couldn't have the, you know, the little stamped numbers that are on the outside of the caps and the rods. They weren't all going to be nicely facing the outside of the engine. Maybe it's a bit OCD, but, you know, while I have the chance, why not do it? So the engine shop, the guys that did all of the machining on this 308, they just kindly swapped them around for me, so that was wonderful. And that's why there's a delay in getting the rod bearing clearance checks done. Because they'd all been in the machine shop, I've just gone over them again with Shellite just to clean off anything that might have, you know, been blowing around in the air in the machine shop. And I have also just oiled down the piston skirts and also prepared the rod bolts and nuts with the ARP lubricant, which is required just to get accurate torques. I also cleaned out the bores again with Shellite and oiled them up with some clean engine oil. Obviously there's no rings on the pistons to do the rod bearing clearance checks, so no big deal there. But I did need Scotty's help just to hold the pistons up into the bores while I got the caps on the rods. And then got the Plastigauge onto the journal. By the way, yeah, I did clean the journals again with Shellite. Torqued the caps down and then just obviously undid the caps and checked the Plastigauge based on the measurements on the packet of the Plastigauge. I ended up deciding just to do rods 1, 4, 5 and 8 so that I had each of the 4 journals checked, and I also had 2 on the left bank and 2 on the right bank checked as well. Now, if they were going to come out with a lot of variability, then I'd go and check all of them and do some other measurements as well. But as it turned out, they all came out well within spec. And spec for a 308, Holden 308, is between 0.7 thou and 2.2 thou. And I was consistently getting almost halfway between, maybe. I'll have a close look at the photos. There's somewhere between 1 thou and 1.5 thou, so almost smack bang in the middle of where they're supposed to be, with a high amount of consistency, which is good. The next step then is to do the rear main seal, which means we're officially starting assembly of this 308. I'm still committed to using a rope rear main seal on this 308, and that's a bit of tradition or nostalgia, I guess. It doesn't matter what I read about a rear main seal for these engines. There are people that really hate the rope, and there are people that say that neoprene will still leak if you don't install it properly. So I'm going to do all the research I can to make sure that I take my time and do the right thing to get that rope seal installed properly in the block. So that'll be the next video. I'm looking forward to all of the knowledge that gets shared in the comments about that. And of course, like always, I'll take it on board. So thank you if you do have some knowledge to share about rear main seals in these 308s. Yeah, progress is slow, but progress is happening, and I guess that's all that matters, especially when it's a hobby. It really shouldn't be stressful. So I will see you in the next video, which is likely the installation of a rear main seal in the 308.